Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Derek Morrison, and this is just going to be a talking head video. I'm going to give you some thoughts about the ZR. I'm still trying to get my hands on one, but that should happen soon. I can give you, this will also be a sort of a Dear Nikon, little letter to Nikon. So let's get into it. From what I've seen and read about the Nikon ZR, it's the question on everybody's mind is it a proper cinema camera? And there's no question that it has a cinematic image, but you can take an iPhone now and create a cinematic image on it. Just look at what 28 years later did. Granted, they had about $100,000 rig on it with lenses and everything, but you know, I think the point is made that you can make any camera look cinematic. So yes, the camera has a cinematic image, but does it have cinema use? And I've seen a lot of people saying, well, it doesn't have a full-size HDMI, doesn't have the stoplights, doesn't have timecode. Well, I mean, it has timecode, but not the timecode that's easily usable. That could be just put on a set and ready to go. Doesn't have false color, doesn't have any of the red exposure tools, so exposure is really difficult to get. Yeah, I mean, you could just say, well, go back to the old school way of doing things where you meter everything. You know, I'm sure there's a lot of DPs out there who do, but you know, this camera's not entirely geared to, I mean, they wanted it geared to the professional DPs, but I don't think that with the price bracket it's at, I think a lot more people who pick it up are going to be the content creators, right? So the content creator market, I mean, they're just getting a good image out of it, right? And that's pretty easy to do if you just look at the back of the screen. So, I mean, does it replace the FX3? The FX3 has been around so long, it has so many accessories for it and so many things that you can get for it to make it fit in a professional workflow. So I think it's just going to take time. I mean, I just saw recently that Mutiny is working on some run stop triggers and apparently some time code options. I'm curious as to what that's going to be about. I can tell you from my experience with the Nikon Z8 that time code's kind of difficult other than running it in through the audio jack. So maybe whatever they come up with for the ZR can be implemented into the other Z line cameras, which would be great. Hopefully we can see that happen. So I think definitely the Nikon ZR is a cinematic looking camera. It needs time for the accessories to get fleshed out. We've only seen a handful of cages. We don't have we don't know what they're going to do with the smart shoe adapter, really. We know that there's a on-camera microphone. There's supposed to be an on-camera XLR adapter that uses the smart shoe. So hopefully those things come to pass. That'll help definitely put it in the documentary world. Professional documentaries could probably pick it up with the 28-135 zoom lens. That would be probably a really nice camera. But you could almost say that about all of the other Z cameras, the Z6 III, the Z8, Z9. We definitely have seen more accessories because they've been out longer. So I think it just comes down to what accessories are third-party manufacturers going to make. That will determine whether it is a proper cinema camera, in my opinion. Here's my dear Nikon. Stop in the shade here for a second. Dear Nikon, what we want to see is a middle ground between the ZR and the Komodo. We want to see more of a Komodo-centric body with the technology like autofocus, X-Speed 7, maybe X-Speed 8, with the red code RAW, with the traffic lights, we want a red basically, but give us that X-Speed 8 processor, because I know that's coming. Give us the full-fledged autofocus. Use either the red code RAW or the Tico RAW or the Nikon RAW. I mean, 12, 14, 16 bit. They're both excellent, got excellent compression on them. Give us a Komodo X full frame 6K with the full autofocus, all of the exposure tools and features of a red camera. Give us the low power of the X-Speed processor. Let us use a 99 watt-hour battery that'll last 6 hours, 8 hours, because of how low the power draw is on the X-Speed. Give us a smart accessory that we can just attach onto the back, kind of like the old red DSMC2s. You know, don't go back to the DSMC2 build, but give us an XLR accessory somehow that could be easily attached. Genlock timecode all has to be from the Komodo X, just like it currently is. Put it in that $3,000 to $6,000 price range. I think that's the perfect camera, honestly. A Komodo X full frame 6K. Doesn't have to be global shutter. I know that the global shutter is the big thing with red, and it's great. But we could live with a rolling shutter, especially in a lower price bracket. I think that would become the differentiator, really. You know, don't do 16-bit, maybe do 14-bit. Give us true 15 stops of dynamic range. Kind of like how the old Red 1 MX was, because you used to have the Red used to have the Red 1 M, which was a 12-bit analog to digital chip, and then the MX became 14-bit. Got an extra stop, roughly a stop to 2 stops of dynamic range out of it. Give us a 14-bit Komodo X full frame, or call it something else, you know. That way it doesn't step on the Komodo line, because I think that's been a great line, especially with the global shutter for, what is it, like, was that 17? 8 years? Was that 16? I don't remember. I think it was 16 or 17. Another dear Nikon. With the Z line, give us a video first firmware for the Z6 III, ZR, Z8, Z9 that's separate from a like your traditional photo firmware, right? Take some of the photo features out. Give us the choice. I mean, there's people who are photo-centric first. Okay, give us the photo firmware with a little bit of video features. And then there's people who are video-centric first. So give us the video firmware with a little bit of photo features. You know, it doesn't have to be extreme. We don't have to. That way we can choose what we want. The Z8 and Z9 are excellent 8K cameras. Excellent. You got this. There's only like 8 cameras right now that can do 8K 60 or higher. You got the Ronin 4D, V-Raptor, Burano, Venice, the Z8, Z9, the Raptor XE, the Pixis 12K, right, and the Ursa Cine 12K. There's not a lot of them out there. There's only a handful of 8K. Oh, the Sony Alpha 1, but I don't think that can do 60. I think they only do 30. You know, but there's only a handful of sensors that can actually hit 8K or higher in 60 frames per second, and Nikon has one of them. And it's an excellent sensor. I've measured 14 stops, 14 and a half stops, roughly, especially with the new red IPP2 workflow. So you guys are already in the top 10, and especially if you talk about price, you are the cheapest 8K 60 camera right now. The Z8, Z9, I mean the Z8 especially, is only $4,200 after tariff, and before tariff it was like you had it on discount up down to $3,500. That's insane for an 8.3K 60 frames per second camera that can shoot 12-bit RAW. There is no one else out there that can say they can do that. So give us a video-centric firmware for the 8, 9, and Z6 III, and let us go to town. Give us LUT support. Give us actual timecode support, where we could, you know, decode the linear timecode off the audio port, or use the USB for expandability. I mean, right now I'm using USB to send timecode into here, and I'm syncing up the timecode from the camera, from the iPhone to my recorder, and I'm using USB for that. So let us do that with the Z line, which would be great. Yep, still recording. So that would be excellent to have. I know there's only a couple thousand of us that use the Z8, Z9 and more of a higher end prosumer or low end professional level. I mean, it's like my buddy, he's got 2 Buranos. He loves them. I mean, because they're like mini Venices. But I filmed a music video alongside the Burano at 8.3K, and he was running 8.6K, and it wasn't that far off. I mean, the color science is different, yes, but at the end of the day, the sharpness was nearly the same. You know, you've got a powerhouse of a camera in the Z8 and Z9. You just gotta unlock it for us, right? Dear Nikon, bring the older sensors from Red over to the Z line. Bring the Monstro 8K at 14-bit or something, and bring the Helium over. You know, those are older sensors, yeah, but they still bang today. I mean, you're talking about 8K 60 in a Super 35, or 8K 60 in VistaVision. Take the sensor design, tweak it a little bit to get your 3x2 sensor out of it. Keep it at that 8 millisecond readout speed, or even if you had to bump it up to like 12 or 14, that's still like, I mean, you're reading the 8K sensor today at 14 milliseconds, and that's a 16:9, but you could probably do 8K 3x2 14 milliseconds with the Monstro or the Helium, and I think that would be awesome. Even if it's 14-bit, hell, even if you put it at 12-bit, give us the red color science out of it, just like you are with the ZR. You would sell. I personally believe that you would sell. I would buy one of each, especially if I could get it for around the $2,000 to $3,000 price range. You know, maybe $4,000 for the Monstro, $3,000 for the Helium. Do it. That's what I say. If you wanted to go on the high end, ultra high end, dear Nikon, please give us a high end V-Raptor. Next level. I know you got the Alexa 35 Extreme that just came out, and I think with the X-Speed chip, how little power draw you guys are using, I think you could put that in. I think you put another version of it, the next version of it, in the V-Raptor X, and bring that power draw from like 90 watts down to like 35 watts. I mean, that's just what I've seen. You know, you're really limited on the thermal headroom of the Z8, Z9, where the V-Raptor X, with its internal fan and cooling system, you really cut back on that thermal headroom. You know, you really open up that thermal headroom to allow the chip to stay cooler, do more, absorb a little more power. Heck, you might even be able to do it with the X-Speed 7, I don't know. And give us a V-Raptor X with the X-Speed in it, with full Nikon like autofocus. Man, that's a powerhouse. And if you could actually get the same 8K 120 out of it, or even, I think it's probably a sensor limitation, but even if you could pump out just a little more, like maybe 144 or 170, 168, something like that, man. And keep it at the $25,000 or $30,000 range, or even if you just brought it from like the 30,000 or 25,000 down to the 20,000. I don't know. I mean, that would be awesome. I mean, I've paid, I don't know what, 2015, I paid $30,000 for a Scarlett X Dragon. $30,000. That was with the media, the monitor, the like base accessories that I needed. $28,000 to $30,000 is what I paid for in 2014-15. Today I could get a V-Raptor X for that. I mean, that was a 5K 30 or 5K 48 back then. Now you're talking 8K 120 for the same price. That's amazing. So let me know what your guys' thoughts are. What'd your wish list be? Or like your dear Nikon, this is what I would love to have. So just put it in the comments below. If you like the video, hit like. If you wouldn't mind, I'd love a subscribe. Still trying to hit that 150. I'm now at what, 181? Sorry, not 150. Still trying to hit that 500 mark. At the 500 mark, then I can start making some member exclusive content for workflow, for color grading workflow, how I color grade, all that kind of stuff. So if you liked it, hit the like button. I would love a subscribe to hit that 500. I'll see you on the next one. Goodbye.